Hey guys, John Lopresti here, Cardinal Financial, here with my buddy Kieran Rodgers over at the agency.
I can say that probably half my deals last year would not have happened if you didn't get involved. And you guys are insane. I mean, there's plenty of success stories coming out of this bank right now. The timing or speed of things and technology, and like my clients are happy again. It's a pleasure to continue referring business to you.
Appreciate everything.
Yeah, of course. Negotiations. You have a buyer and you have a seller, and everybody's trying to find that happy medium of what goes on. A buyer, when after looking at 10 houses and you really like that specific house, you don't want to lose. You don't want to have to continue looking at houses. So that's what the buyer's needs are.
Yeah.
Then you have a seller who wants the maximum amount of money,
Sure.
right? But sometimes we can't. Like right now, we're seeing a lot of deals with price cuts and stuff like that. So you're just kind of taking less, but the timing and holding on to that property might cost you more.
Sure.
So it's important to really just find what people's needs are. I absolutely love this market. We talk to many buyers, right? I talk to you like 12 times a day, more than my wife.
Mm-hmm.
And my buyers know that this is the time. You're not buying a house, you're building the next chapter of your life. This is not like, oh my God, interest rates, just buy the house, put a roof over your family. We don't have open house lines of 35 people anymore. You have the opportunity to buy a house with less things to worry about. Like you're able to deal with the seller a little bit more direct, and that seller needs to be in a position to maybe just pull back a little bit. The goal here is just to get the deal done.
Yeah.
So you coming into the picture after we present an offer, I call the agent one before, start to create some rapport, submit the offer with the pre-approval, CC you on it, and you know, right? We pretty much know that you're gonna call, and I warm her up or warm him up that you're gonna call. Picking the right offer is tough, but having another face and somebody that's building that confidence that this deal is gonna close is why we're closing deals right now.
And at the end of the day, it's like, you know, if our offer is presented with a commitment letter, which 99.99% of times it is the safer play. If another offer is $10,000 higher, like if you're a listing agent, you're presenting that, you're speaking to the loan officer, the underwriting portion of the loan is already done. Like what's the hardest part about getting a mortgage, right?
Right.
Is underwriting,
Yeah.
right? The underwriting process is already done.
Mm-hmm.
So it's the power of a commitment letter. Like, hey, yes, I'm presenting to my seller. This offer is $10,000 higher, right? But they have a pre-approval. This offer is $10,000 lower or at ask or a little before or a little lower, but it has a commitment letter. The loan's secured.
Right.
It's the bank's commitment to lend you the money. The one that's $10,000 higher doesn't have that.
Right.
So like it's more beneficial for the seller to take a lower offer that has an actual commitment letter.
And I think that has to get explained, and that's why I jump onto the phone and not hide behind a text message and explain that.
For like buyers out there too, if you guys truly love a house, please don't lose that house over $10,000. Please, because every $1,000 that you borrow is only about $5 per month in your monthly payment. So if you have to come up $10,000 and that's really what's going to take the seller to the signing of the contract and accept your offer, that's only going to raise your payment $50, $55 a month. So please don't lose the house over $10,000. If you're comfortable with that extra $50, $60 a month, whatever the number is, don't lose the house over $10,000. I get it could be frustrating. Maybe you have a line that you want to draw, but just understand and communicate with the bank, your loan officer, and understand that what that extra $10,000 is going to cost you per month, because we've seen it all the time. People, I don't want to say the word stubborn, but you know, they have a number, they don't want to go over that number, but if they understand and communicate, you know, what that extra $10,000, maybe $15,000 does to their monthly payment, to me isn't a deal breaker. But to other people, maybe it could be.
It's, you know, you definitely have to have that conversation and kind of crush the ego a lot, because I do this every day, you do this every day. We can look at 12 more houses and get into that same situation, or we can close this deal right now.
Yeah.
And
especially if you love the house.
Especially if you love the house. It's hard to find a house that you love, that when you get it, you got to just jump on that roller coaster and just ride it through.
Yeah.
Knowing where the 20,000 intervals are on a well-priced house, which is going to generate some traffic, to come up even 20, you know, I know, but like, I still buy an iPhone. I don't even know what the price is, but I get to enjoy it.
Right.
So how do you put a price on just having a barbecue in your backyard and crushing beers with the boys?
That's
you know?
it, man. Unless you have a golf course in your backyard.
Ah, man,
One person
Legends
we
Club.
know.
Shout out to Legends
There
Club.
we go.
You guys cleared a deal in 24 hours.
24 hours. Technically, it was 48 hours, but we're sticking with 24 hours.
Sounds better. One day. We'll call it 2 days.
It was
That
a
sounds
1-day
better.
close. And again, this shows the
I'm
power
jealous.
of the commitment letter and the power of the technology that is surrounded by Cardinal. This literally happened last week. Wednesday, I get a call from the attorney. He says, can you please take a look at this deal? Something is not sitting right with it. The bank thinks it's a condo, but it's actually a townhouse. So they're telling the client he has to put 10% down when it's really only 5% that has to be put down.
Wow.
So I take a look at it. I said, well, I can get this done, but I need a week because I'm going to have to order a new appraisal. So I thought I could get the whole loan done in 1 week, ordering a new appraisal. So I speak to the client Wednesday night. Client agrees to come with me, who will be appearing on my next video and giving us a shout out. Agrees to come with me, signs the initial disclosures. Thursday morning, he starts sending me all the paperwork, all the documents. Appraisal was set for Thursday at 3 p.m. Appraisal came back Thursday night. We got all the documents Thursday. Loan was submitted to underwriting Friday morning. Assigned to the underwriter 10 o'clock Friday morning, 12:30 Friday afternoon, the loan is cleared to close. Cleared to close.
You can't always win every deal, but think about that family and borrower that was spinning wheels for 60 days to get crushed at the end. Now you're maybe your down payment's at risk.
Your seller that's like, hey, we've been in contract since October. What are we doing? And the amazing thing is too, is that the listing agent on the transaction actually works with a loan officer at Cardinal Financial. Okay, I'm going to get this done in a week, but you know, you're going to send me all your business. She said, hey, I actually already work with somebody at Cardinal. So I immediately say, well, where have you been for 60 days? Like, why didn't you get this deal over to him? Like, something had to be wrong. He could have suggested it, but like, if you have relationships with people at another lender and something's going wrong in your transaction, it's just 60 days, you don't have a commitment letter. It's not a clear to close, like something's obviously up. So please have that buyer like check in with specifically me and my team. But you know, again, we get the deal Wednesday night, order the appraisal Thursday morning, appraisal's done Thursday afternoon, comes back Thursday night, get all the docs throughout that time period on Thursday. And it's clear to close on Friday. And the coolest thing about that transaction is like in only 24 hours, me and this client and his wife are like best friends. That's literally like best friends. And you know, it's
sometimes you want to cape a few times in some deals, you know? So one other thing that we've been kind of doing is when I list the property on the brochure, we map out the down payments of what the asking price is versus 5%. FHA 3.5% down. If you have 3.5% down, which can be gifted as well, there's ways to get those deals done. But what we've been doing is mapping out 3.5%, 5%, 10%, and 20%. So when the client comes in and they say, I love the house, what's the cost of the house, right? You go to the lot, you buy the car, how much is the car payment? Then you say no. So part of the success in the last 2 years is the client being savvy of what their mortgage payment is. That it's spaced out over 360 months. It's easy to lend money. Taxes are the things that we look out for, but that has drastically changed my business, and you guys are always so good to map that out for me, and it just makes the clients that much more educated.
I actually had a deal this weekend, right? And the borrower was buying an investment property, savvy buyer, a lot of different businesses, owns numerous properties, and I give him a list of documents to send me, tax returns, mortgage statements, homeowners insurance, business tax returns for all the different businesses that he owns. And then the realtor sends me a pre-approval from Chase yesterday. I said, well, what happened? I said, let me call him. She said, well, he didn't want to, send all the paperwork. And I said, okay. So he called Chase and they just sent out a piece of paper that says you're approved. Like, if he just happens to, number one, get the house, he's gonna have to send all the paperwork that I asked for. So number one, might as well do it up front.
Right.
Number two, you don't really know if he qualifies. You don't know what he's showing in income. You don't know
Right.
if he's carrying all the
Yeah,
losses
so many
for the
moving
properties.
pieces.
Lenders out there, loan officers that are just sending pre-approvals out based on the information that the clients tell you instead of what they're actually showing you. So if you guys have any questions about mortgages or real estate or anything to do with this industry, please feel free to reach out to Kieran or I.
And if you know nothing about real estate, turn on Netflix for our new show and you can kind of see how it all goes down.